Hello everyone, I'm Finn from FinnBreak42. As you might be able to tell, it's currently raining where I am recording, so there will be a lot of rain sounds, as well as animals that are out in the rain. So today, to review, I have ShuriCopter from the LEGO Ninjago line of LEGO sets. The set number is 70673 and costs $39.99 Canadian or $29.99 US. And has 361 pieces. In these clips, I'm showing the front and back of the box for this LEGO set. There are quite a few interesting details, such as the minifigures being shown on the printing on the side, as well as the usual showing some features of the set. Now I'll get into a time-lapse of the build. Now that I've finished the build, you can see the completed product, which is the helicopter. This set looks really cool, and there are quite a few interesting features to it, so I'm looking forward to showing them all to you. To start, I'll look at the helicopter itself. The first thing I want to note on is how it feels to hold. It's actually quite interesting, and it has an interesting center of gravity and balance point, the way it all works. I really like how it's angled, so you sort of build the helicopter itself in two parts. You can see here that the front part is actually angled relative to the back, which is the tail, which really makes it look like a very fast vehicle. It's sort of hard to describe exactly how it was building this, but it was really interesting to see both pieces come together. On the top you can see the placement of the blades for the helicopter, and in a moment I'll show you the feature that allows you to spin those. It's on the bottom right here, and there's a quick view of the bottom of the helicopter. Has a couple wheels down there to allow you to kind of place it on the ground, although it still does lean backwards. Right here we see the cockpit of the helicopter, and it has a heads-up display for Zane, as well as some printing for, I'm guessing it's ice. It's quite an interesting way they've done it, and you actually have these they're actually butcher knives on the front that sort of hold the windscreen in place. Zane then sits snugly into one of these relatively new, I think 2016 or something like that, so not too new at this point, but footholds. And yeah, there's the Zane minifigure, and I'll get to showing you that in just a moment. Yeah, quite a nice cockpit there actually. There's tons of space. You can actually store weapons in there as well, which is quite useful for having minifigures so you don't lose pieces like that. And I was really happy with actually my application of the sticker in this case, because usually I might get a little mixed up with clear stickers like that, but yeah, I was happy about that. There's also another clear sticker right on the top, just showing Zane's sort of symbol for the season, and I think it's pretty cool, as well as some more stickers just around the sides showing extra detail. Usually I don't like excessive stickers, but in this case I think they all serve a purpose, and I actually don't mind some of the design ones. Right here you can see that I'm spinning sort of this connecting piece, which does serve as sort of an exhaust or engine type thing, and you can see all the gears that are spinning there. I'm really glad that they actually left that open, because it does look like there are actual mechanics going on. And you can see how when I spin that on the bottom, the blades at the top actually spin around, even though they're angled. So I was really happy with that, on how smoothly they spin. Even when relative to the gears, they're actually slightly angled. Now focusing the camera in on these sort of blades that spin at the front when you roll the helicopter on the ground. It's kind of funny rolling the helicopter on the ground, but this feature does work very, very well. I'm actually quite impressed with how smoothly these seem to spin and how consistent they are. So yeah, I'm just going to show you that now. So you can see here I'm just rolling the helicopter forward and back, and they spin both ways just fine, don't get caught on anything. It's quite nice. And once again, it just gives me another look for the front of the helicopter, which I'm extremely impressed with how they've designed it. Like, wow, it's really cool. It looks like it's a fast vehicle. On the sides, there are these flaps that attach to sort of cover the inner workings of the helicopter itself. One of these is see-through with the translucent light blue, which I think looks really cool and really reminds me of ice. Nice how they've kept with that theme. And here's just a view on how you can see the inner workings turning a little bit better. So yeah, I think that's just, I really appreciate how they allowed you to see what was working even after it was built. And this helicopter also has the 6-stud shooter, which is the easiest way to lose 6 studs. Right here in this demonstration, I think I lost one of them. I can't be sure because I had the extra pieces pile pretty close to where I was recording. So it's possible that it just landed in there. Eventually, I ended up taking one out of the extra pieces pile. But yeah, as always, the 6-stud shooter seems to work just fine. And quite happy with how it ends up turning out. And I really like how they've incorporated it into the helicopter design this time. So now, I'm going to get on to showing you the spinner. So this is sort of cool to me, as I recently just got the previous version, a rendition of this type of spinner, which allowed attachments. Now this one does not, but one thing that caught my eye immediately was when spinning it, you can really see, it's really cool to have that much see-through plastic for this, but also it has glitter in it, which does look pretty cool when you spin it. One thing I have noticed is that this spinner, no matter what I try, seems to not be able to spin for quite as long. But all the same, you can still, attack bad guys with it and knock them over like I'm showing in this clip here. And yeah, it does a pretty good job of spinning for long enough to really do that. So I think you can still have your, classic Ninjago spinner battles with this spinner. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see another version of a spinner. I'm glad that they keep up with these. And here's just a quick slow motion video to see the spinner in action. I was actually pretty happy with this spin. It lasted one of the longest I got. So yeah, just sort of interesting to see all the glitter and how it reflects with the light. So it was a pretty good spin in my opinion, and that really is the kind of spin you'll be trying to get with this sort of new spinner design. So I'm quite happy with that. So now I'm going to get on to showing you the minifigures. First up is Zane. And right away you can see that there are quite a few teal accents on Zane, which may allude to something about the season. I know it's been out for a while, still don't want to put any spoilers just in case. Actually, haven't watched it myself yet, so I'm going to try and get to that eventually. And yeah, one thing I'm quite happy with is the new sword sheath piece, which allows you to put on the new style of ninja hood and bandana combination while having a sword. So I think that really opens quite a few possibilities. And I'm just overall glad LEGO decided to do that. Zane comes with a couple of shurikens, the gold ones, so that's really nice. And here you can see I'm just turning the minifigure around so you can see what it looks like. I'm actually quite happy with the printing on this. I find that they've done actually an incredible job this time with the alignment of the printing. It just seems everything matches equally on all sides, which is really something that I always hope to see. And this time it just seems to have happened. Yeah, and once again, I find that the outfits in this season they seem kind of interesting. They seem a bit more strategy-based, almost survival-based. I'm not entirely sure. They seem more practical than usual for the Ninjago outfits. On the back, there's the continuation of the belt with silver and dark gray printing. And yeah, that just kind of goes onto the front, just sort of some sort of strap or something connects. I don't know, you could probably put weapons in there. And yeah, here's just a better view at the face. So Zane's face for this season is quite interesting to me because I'm so used to seeing eyebrows that don't seem to have that much expression in them overall. But these ones seem to have a bit more expression, although it does seem to be a bit more angry. So the next minifigure is JFS. So The torso and leg, as far as I'm aware, for this minifigure, are the same with the regular version of Jay in this season, as well as all the minifigures with their FS versions. But the hood for this minifigure, the hood piece, is quite interesting, with energy flowing out of it. The printing, once again, I'm pretty happy with this. The printing on the front of the torso, and you can really see a lot of detail in there with all sorts of different straps and buckles and creases in the fabric. And once again, it seems like the outfit is more utility based than usually where it seems more design based. I really appreciate that. It's got quite a few different things, and with the light gray and silver printing there, as well as some black and gray for the lines on the fabric. I kind of like that smiley button, not exactly sure, as well as the lightning button. Just sort of cool additions to have. Up next is General Vex, who is an ice samurai. And one thing that I found quite interesting about this set is that it comes with this vinyl plastic-like design, and it has all 3 of the flags from the season. So even though the 2 on the sides aren't actually officially used in this set, it still comes with it. And I find that that's pretty nice because it allows for customization and just have your own flags. So yeah, and the flag just goes onto the weapon, which is pretty cool, and actually has a tiny bit of dual molding at the end. I think this one, the one I got, actually has quite a bit less dual molding than most of these spear sword combos. I'm not exactly sure the official name for it, but yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got dark metallic gray, and sort of adds this, it looks like it will be cold for metal, so it's kind of interesting. And here's just a view of General Vex holding his banner spear. And yeah, I kind of like it. I'm not exactly sure what it says on the banner. I'm pretty sure there's a language to translate all that with Ninjago, but yeah, I'm not sure. It might even have some significance to the season, so if you guys want to see that, you can read that and check it out for yourselves. So now on to the minifigure itself. Right away, something I noticed that is really cool, pun intended, is that it has all sorts of representations of ice all over it, using translucent or clear, I guess, light blue, including the arm, which actually reminds me of Lego Chima, which is kind of funny with the correlations between Lego Chima and Ninjago every now and then. So I find that's kind of interesting. So the Ice General has 2 main kind of armor pieces, or 2 armor pieces, and something I originally did not notice from the box was that it's actually clear all the way through with the ice. It's not just on top of the armor, so it's kind of like the armor's made partially of ice. And I find that's actually really a cool detail, having those sort of clear spots visible, like on this helmet here. And yeah, that was something I did not expect, and I really like these armor pieces a lot now. They might even be some of my favorite armor pieces. So the torso is dark red, and it's got a lot of shiny printing of different silvers, blues, whites, and the legs have it a bit as well. And I'm just really impressed with just the quality of the prints on these minifigures, with how they've managed to put so much detail. Here's just a quick view of the arm for General Vex, and yeah, like, I've never had a clear arm like that, so that's a really cool thing to have. Quick view at the face. It's pretty funny. We've got the light blue face with the ice mustache, and I find that's a pretty nice addition. A quick look at the extra pieces in this set shows that it comes with 15 of them. 6 of them are extra studs for the stud shooters, which makes a lot of sense, as those will get lost easily. Something I'm very happy with is that it comes with an extra pair of shurikens and an extra sword, as well as an extra tire, which are always nice pieces to have. So yeah, overall I'd say that this was an incredible set. I'm extremely happy I got it, and I think the price is actually very, very good. There are quite a few really interesting details, and the helicopter itself was probably one of the most interesting builds I've built in quite a long time. I was really impressed with how they actually allowed space to be able to see the inner workings of the helicopter itself from outside after it's built. And I like the new spinner design. I love the minifigures in this. And yeah, I think I have no complaints. This is honestly a great set. So thank you everyone very much for watching, and I hope that you all have a great day.